This is a battle in the Use It and Lose It tournament. We have Athens versus Syracuse. Hellenic matchup on the pyramids, which doesn't give either side any advantages. It will tire them out faster. So for Syracuse, we have Mercenary Veteran Hoplites, Thorax, Mercenary Veteran, Thorax, Mercenary Etruscan, Thorax, Mercenary, Militia Hoplites. So Hoplite spam is the order of the day. Slingers, Archers, Slingers. Then we have Mercenary Italian Cav, Mercenary Italian Cav, Mercenary Italian Cav, and Picked Hoplite General. For Athens, we have 3 Citizen Cav, we have 2 Tarentine Cav, we have 2 Thorax Swords on each flank, so 4 Thorax Swords, Thureos, a center of Thorax Hoplites, Pikes, and Thorax Hoplites. Up front, Slingers, and some more Slingers. The General, can't see the General, so he's probably hidden. We can't see the entire army. Let's see, nope. He might be in the forest here or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, there might be a hidden general somewhere. But in terms of melee power, looks like Syracuse has the edge. Bringing these Pike center, very, very risky against a Hoplite army. And the Thorax Hoplites and Veteran Hoplites will defeat Thorax Swords if used properly. The Citizen Cavalry has no chance against the Mercenary Italian Cavalry, and here is the General for Athens, a Thorax Hoplite. So 2 Thorax Hoplites on each side, a total of 4. Tarentines also very hard to use effectively against Spear Army, Hoplite Army. They can be nice for rear charges late game and such. A very slight skirmish edge to Syracuse. These Slingers are not going to be able to do much against Thorax Hoplites and the other heavily armored infantry. Let's see, the Tarentines are actually firing here. Firing on Mercenary Veteran Hoplites and getting some kills. These shots are sort of hitting the unshielded side, which is a nice move. The casualties aren't going to be massive, but this might be important. Running around, getting some rear shots off is also very, very nice. So already 10 kills on the Tarentines. Good for them. Slingers firing here. The Militia Hoplites moving up together with the Slingers to ward off any cavalry, I'm sure. But yeah, the Militia Hoplites don't have precursors, so they actually have to catch the cavalry, which is a problem. But they could be used to push back the skirmish of Athens, which it looks like they're going to do. Yep, nicely done. Now the Pikes respond. Sneaky Italian Cav, very risky to push up the Cav like this and risk getting hit by missiles on the way back. But this allows the Archers of Syracuse to get some nice shots in. The Pikemen taking fire now, screening away the Militia Hoplites. But putting them in this counts as forest, so putting them there would remove a lot of the missiles fired against them. The Archers are, looks like they are firing on the Pikemen, and the Pikemen with backs turned will die quickly just to standard Archers. The Slingers doing a bit of damage here to, let's see, firing on the Archers it seems, which is a good choice. These Archers have lost a few men, because the Slingers are in range, they have longer range. At this point, the Cavalry could actually go through the Militia Hoplites and get to the skirmishers behind, but a bit too late because the Mercenary Italian Cavalry comes in. Chasing after the Tarentines here. Losing some men in the process. So the Slinger is already in red morale here because they are losing. And these slingers have the superior position. So Athens is slowly winning the skirmish engagement, although they have fewer units, but they lost quite a few pikemen here. I think it was, yeah, that unit down to 89 men. But pikemen, it's sure they are nice to like be a glorified picket fence in the center of the formation, but it's so hard to use pikes effectively. So it looks like the militia hoplites are going to want to engage here. They are certainly moving very close, or do they just want to stand there and shout insults at the pikes? They are certainly baiting fire from the Thureos, and that's a very nice use for them. Because now the Thureos are not firing where they should on the Italian cavalry. Actually, nothing is firing on the Italian cavalry, which is very fortunate for the Italian cavalry. The Italian cavalry has just been sitting there in skirmish range, and not a single unit has fired on them. Militia hoplites moving in to block the charge of the thorax hoplites. The thorax hoplites take the bait. They're going to wreck militia hoplites, but that's exactly what the militia hoplites are there for. Over here we have mercenary veteran hoplites against thorax swords. Zero casualties taken on the veterans, and the thorax swords have lost 6 men, so 7 now. And Tarentines firing, but this is not a good angle for the Tarentines because they're hitting the thorax swords in the back. So now they're moving around, nicely done. Pikes doing nothing in the center. The thorax hoplites winning decisively here against the militia hoplites, but now the general is going to get charged here by a thorax hoplite unit, and that is bad for him. Thorax swords moving in to support the fight though, but again the thorax swords are not really that effective against thorax hoplites, and another thorax hoplite is going to move in here and get some killing done against the thorax swords. Militia hoplites losing decisively here. If these pikes rush in and drop the pikes against the mercenary Etruscan hoplites, they can do some damage here, but if not, they are just going to stand, poke, and do very little. On the flanks, a bit of a messy development, where here we have the Tarentine cavalry charging into the backs of mercenary Italian cavalry. Nicely done there. The thorax hoplites are losing to thorax hoplites, even though there are thorax swords. The mercenary veteran hoplites winning quite decisively against the thorax swords. When the mercenary veteran hoplites are in phalanx, it just makes it a lot worse for the thorax swords. The citizen cavalry getting 10 kills here, but they are up against thorax hoplites and mercenary Italians, so there's not much they can do there. And the general of Athens not doing too well at the moment, so he's pulling out. He's going to lose some men on the disengage, but I think it was a good decision to pull him out there, because he would have died up against the thorax hoplites. And you can see the thorax swords don't manage to get much killing done either. The pikemen, they had 11 kills last I checked. Now it's been 2 minutes and they have 12 kills, so they are not dealing the damage here. Citizen cavalry into mercenary Italian. Athens is losing except here. That's the only engagement Athens is actually winning. And here they have 3 units against 1. One charge and the thorax hoplite general here might just die. It looks like he's going to want to engage to hold the flanks. Heroic of him, but he is going to die here in this melee. Up against mercenary veteran hoplites and thorax hoplites. So yeah, he's dropping, he's losing. The citizen cavalry could clean up a lot of slinger units here, but at this point they're not really important for Syracuse, because Syracuse is winning everywhere that matters. The Athenian general is about to die, he's losing decisively, while the Syracusan general is completely fine. He hasn't killed anything yet, but he hasn't really needed to either, because his army has done very well against Athens. Pikes going down, impaling a few mercenary Italian cav. The mercenary Italian cav could just continue through and get to the slingers here, which looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Yep, here they come. The slingers have to run, but there's no way. The mercenary Italian cav smashing into the slingers, and that's it for those two slinger units. Nice kills though for a cheap slinger unit. And over here as well, the combat is even between the thorax hoplites and the thorax hoplites and the thorax swords. Tarentines getting rid of a few slingers, but the Athenian general can't see him anywhere. Let's see if he's dead. Looks like he's moving off. There he is. He's moving off the field. So the morale penalty isn't going to be applied until he's actually crossed the magical red line here. Syracuse lost one unit here, but they're going to be able to support nicely with a unit of mercenary Etruscan hoplites, countercharging the thorax hoplites into the Etruscans. But I don't know why the balance of power is even at this point, because Athens is, as far as I can see, just losing everywhere. Citizen cavalry routing some archers here. Have to be a bit careful because of the thorax hoplite support. In the back here, though, Syracuse is actually losing a mercenary Italian cav to slingers in melee, so that was strange. They were militia hoplites in there as well. They're exhausted, so that might be why. The mercenary Italian cav was very tired, so again that might be why. Exhausted units are not effective. Tarentines getting a nice charge here into the blob. They lose a few men, but they did some hit point damage here. A little too late though, because the thorax swords are losing decisively and the charge didn't change that. A lot of these Syracusan units are in red and orange morale though. But this unit right here, the picked hoplites, hasn't lost a single man, got some killing done, and late game picked hoplites are so dangerous to depleted enemy units. Tarentines moving in, getting the archers off the field. These slingers, I think, yeah, they're going to attack the picked hoplites in the rear, or the flanks more like. So they're out of ammunition now. 96 kills for them, nice. And winning here though has been quite important for Athens, because they have a few units available now, but these units are not going to be able to stand up to picked hoplites. The heat on this map though means that they are going to tire out very, very quickly. So charging in slowly, a tired charge, but should be more than enough against these thorax hoplites. Battle rhythm, so that means they have second wind as well. Battle rhythm going to increase their stats above and beyond what you normally see from picked hoplites. Yep, increasing both melee attack and weapon damage. Very nice to have on a unit like picked hoplites, because battle rhythm phalanx together makes them a decent unit in terms of killing power for a short period of time. So up to 39 weapon damage now, but now they are very tired, so now they need to use second wind. But they are killing quite rapidly here. It's not like Oathsworn level of carnage, but they are definitely killing these depleted units. So second wind not used yet. Maybe it's already been popped on a different unit or something that I didn't notice, but this would be the time to use it, because now they are very tired. Thorax hoplites exhausted, killing off some slingers. But the picked hoplites are winning slightly, but they are dropping though. But this is basically all that Athens has left, and the Pikes can't join the fight because they have to screen away these thorax hoplites. but it's turned around a bit. Athens has a lot of units left on the field, but it's just a lot of depleted units and a lot of units that can't really be used, like the slingers. Yeah, the slingers break. These depleted units are going to break. Let's see where the general is, if he's actually managed to rout off the field now. Let's see, I think the general has made it across the field. Yeah, I think he has. So the picked hoplites are losing slightly. They are fresh now. Attacked in the rear is going to drop them a lot quicker than they would get dropped otherwise. So this is actually turning out to be a lot closer than I thought it would be. But green morale for these guys, 76 base morale now, and the thorax swords exhausted, winded, fresh thorax hoplites for some reason, probably because they've been in phalanx. But this charge right here from exhausted thorax hoplites, this charge is going to seal the fate of Athens. One unit breaks, pikemen start wavering, being attacked in the rear. The thorax swords start wavering. 197 kills on thorax swords, that's very, very nice, even against Syracuse. And only 134 for the picked hoplites. You could say they're getting picked apart here. Mercenary veteran hoplites charging into pikes. But now that this engagement is over, the pikes are going to get attacked in the rear, and that's it really for the Athenians. Syracuse was too strong today. Very similar in terms of kills, very similar in terms of men deployed. The pikes, always a liability, I think. Thureos surprisingly managed to get a lot of kills. The cavalry didn't do too well in this case. 155 for Tarentines, that's very, very nice. But I would have liked to see Athens with more spears, actually, and less pikes. It's sad that pikes are in that state, but when you have to kill a lot of enemy units reliably, pikes just won't do that for you. So Hamilkar Barca, close Pyrrhic victory there with Syracuse against Athens. Good game. Strength and honor.